Hello and welcome to Comic Drake, where I talk about comic books. My name is Drake. Having all of the Infinity Stones in one place would basically make you the king of the universe, because it grants, well, infinite power. But the Speed Force over at DC Comics has allowed speedsters to do all sorts of crazy nonsense. It's a part of the multiverse itself. But would the power of the Speed Force allow the Flash to outrace the snap that comes at the end of Infinity War? Let's find out. Okay, so before everybody goes crazy in the comments, the main Marvel universe is not connected to the Speed Force, and the Flash rapidly loses his powers as soon as he's transported there. The Infinity Stones, on the other hand, only work in their native universe, so they could never be used in the main DC continuity. That all means that this could straight up never happen, but where's the fun in that? So let's ignore those stumbling blocks and get right into it. So in order to help determine if the Flash could really outrun the Infinity Stones, how does he compare against all six individually? First up is the Time Stone. We all know that the Flash is able to run so fast that he can travel forwards and backwards through time. In fact, the Speed Force essentially is time itself. It's a little bit more complicated than that, but yeah. While Barry and Wally need to use the cosmic treadmill to precisely get where they need to go in the time stream, they could still time travel to escape the clutches of the Time Stone, albeit without finesse. If someone used the gem to put the Flash in a time loop, then we've seen that he's able to notice it and eventually overcome it. So this one is an easy pass. How about the Space Stone? Well, space is just distance, which is basically a joke to the Flash. After all, he could be faster than instant, but I did make an entire video going in more detail about it with my friend Tyler from the Imaginary Axis. But what if someone wielding the Space Stone used its ability to halt the kinetic energy of objects in motion? Surely that would freeze a speedster. Well, if that was the case, then the Flash could just use his ability to steal kinetic energy to get it right back, as plainly put by Wally West right here. That's really no contest. Okay, great, he can overcome space and time. That's not really anything new for longtime readers of The Flash. What about something entirely different from the universe? What about reality itself? The Reality Stone is arguably the most dangerous of the bunch, and canonically, using it alone could be disastrous. The Reality Stone allows the wielder to rewrite reality itself, much like a cosmic cube. It could be argued that Barry Allen can alter reality, as it's currently up in the air as to if the Flashpoint universe that he made is an alternate timeline or an alternate universe, especially with how ambiguous it was left in recent books. But regardless, the Scarlet Speedster could just transport himself to another universe by vibrating at the right frequency and escape the effects. He'd probably be stuck there though, since as soon as he returns to the main universe, he could just be attacked with the Reality Stone all over again. Though, ever since Secret Wars in 2015, the Reality Stone seems to have been noticeably nerfed, simply allowing for multiversal travel and multiversal communication, which is pretty lame if you ask me. Let's move on to the stones that focus on things a little less physical. Mental forces are usually the hardest thing that the Flash has ever had to deal with, such as threats from Gorilla Grodd and the Thinker. The Mind Stone not only grants psionic power, something the Flash is no stranger to facing, but also allows mastery of all thoughts. However, we've seen both Barry and Wally think ridiculously fast, like thinking at the speed of an attosecond fast. This kind of crazy fast thinking is insane, and allowed for feats like Wally being able to completely purge the Thinker from his brain when it was being taken over. When it comes to thoughts, the Speed Force allows for some crazy fast nonsense there as well. Then there's the Soul Stone, which is admittedly a bit hard to tackle since it's the least defined out of the stones, with a bunch of vague powers. Most attacks from the Soul Stone revolve around beams, and I mean, come on, he's so freaking fast that the Flash could just run to a time where the concept of death no longer exists, and this is precisely how Wally outran the Grim Reaper of the Speedsters, the Black Flash. All that's left is the Power Stone, and that's not really an issue. See, this gem embodies all power in the universe, and while it can make someone insanely strong, it's more of a battery than anything else. I highly doubt that I could outrun a bullet that was fired at me, but I'm pretty sure that I'm faster than a gun lying on a table. Hell, I might even be faster than a gun if someone were to throw it at me. I should point out though that none of the other gems are able to reach their full potential without the help of the Power Stone, so some of the absolute craziest stuff couldn't even be possible with just a single gem. But the real question isn't if the Flash could outrun any of the gems alone. It's can he outrun all of them together as a part of the Infinity Gauntlet. While the Power Stone does a great job of boosting its fellow stones, having more than one of the Infinity Stones buffs the power of the total. And in the recent Infinity Countdown series, we know that they directly influence each other, making up what is known as the Infinity Circuit. Here's the thing. These aren't called the Infinity Stones just because it's a cool name. I mean, okay, that's probably the original reason, but it's gone on to mean so much more. Infinity is a concept that seems easy to grasp, but goes beyond our perception as normal human beings. With the complete gauntlet, the wielder of the stones is a complete master of the entire universe. While all of the feats that we've seen Barry and Wally perform are indeed impressive, there's no doubt that they are all finite. Sure, the Flash can think insanely fast, but the Mind Stone could just work faster than that since it has infinite power. He could never think so fast that the stone couldn't just catch up, because at the end of the day, he's just a man. Could the Flash steal back his kinetic energy if someone using the Space Stone already stole it from him? Well, sure, but that would be like a toddler playing tug of war with an adult, or like an infinite number of adults. After all, in Secret Wars 2015, Black Panther was able to use the Infinity Gauntlet to defeat Dr. Doom, who had absorbed the power of the Beyonders. Now, the original Beyonder was one of the most powerful beings in the entire multiverse, and despite multiple retcons making him weaker and weaker as time goes on, the original Beyonder has been stated to be a child in comparison to the rest. Dr. Doom was in control of the power of multiple Beyonders, so for the Gauntlet to be able to defeat that, it's just, wow. Okay, so Black Panther doesn't actually defeat Dr. Doom with the Infinity Gauntlet since it was all just a distraction, but Doom didn't actually finish his fight with T'Challa, so that's still kind of up in the air. Of course, the Speed Force does whatever the writers want it to do, so I'm sure that under the right special circumstances, the Flash could find some way to weasel his way out of things. However, if the snap were to actually end up happening without notice, I'm pretty sure that the Scarlet Speedster would just end up as dust in the wind. I know this conclusion might seem a little underwhelming because I'm honestly in the same boat as well. I really thought that at the beginning of researching this video that the Flash could find some crazy Speed Force nonsense to overcome the complete power of the Infinity Stones, but if you really look at it, no matter how you slice it, nothing can beat infinity. Well, except for like Aleph Null or other infinites, but yeah, no, the Flash can't do that. But if you like this video, then why not consider subscribing, or even watching another one? In fact, if you want to know more about the Infinity Stones, then I actually did an in-depth video going into what they are and how they work. I uncovered a lot of interesting information, so maybe go give that a look if you want to know more. Anyway, I hope you learned at least a little something new, and maybe I'll see you next time.